Have you ever felt like your past mistakes, lost opportunities, or wasted time have defined your future? Like those years that seem to slip away without meaning are gone forever? What if I told you that God has a plan to restore every single wasted year? And not just in a small way, but in ways you never even imagined. Today, I want to share with you 5 powerful signs that show God's restoration is already happening in your life. When life feels like a series of missed chances and dead ends, it's easy to believe you're stuck. But here's the truth. God doesn't do wasted time. The years you thought were lost, He's saving them for a comeback story so remarkable, even you will be surprised. When God begins to restore your wasted years, the very first thing you'll notice is that new opportunities start appearing out of nowhere. You might have been stuck for so long that it felt like every door was slammed shut, every possibility lost. But suddenly, what once seemed impossible begins to show up in your life. It's not random luck or coincidence. It's a deliberate move of God making a way where there seemed to be no way. These doors might not look like the ones you expected, and they may come in forms you hadn't planned for. Maybe it's a new job opportunity, an unexpected connection, or a fresh idea that sparks your creativity. The key is to pay attention. God's restoration often comes through places you least expect. You might be tempted to dismiss these new openings because they don't fit your original plan. But that's exactly why they're divine. They're designed to lead you into something bigger. At first, you might feel hesitant or even afraid to step through these new doors. After all, the past years may have been filled with disappointment, and fear of more failure can be paralyzing. But what God is doing now is calling you to trust Him beyond your doubts. When these opportunities appear, they're accompanied by a quiet confidence or a gentle nudge in your spirit. It's His way of saying, "Take the step. I've already prepared the path." As you start walking through these unexpected doors, you'll begin to see how God is weaving your past experiences, even the wasted years, into this new chapter. Every setback and delay was not a mistake, but part of His preparation. Those years gave you wisdom, strength, and resilience. Now, those wasted times are the foundation for a new beginning that's far better than what you could have imagined. What's even more incredible is that these doors often open in seasons when you least expect it, just when you thought it was too late or that your chance was gone forever. This is the heart of restoration. God doesn't keep score like we do. He specializes in second chances and new beginnings. So when you see these unexpected doors opening wide, know this is your moment to walk boldly into the future God has waiting for you. When God begins to restore your wasted years, one of the most powerful signs is a fresh spark of passion and purpose lighting up inside you. For a long time, you might have felt numb, disconnected from your dreams, or simply going through the motions. But restoration awakens something deep within, a fire that can no longer be ignored. This renewed passion is like a wake-up call from your soul, reminding you that your story isn't over. This fire often comes unexpectedly. You might find yourself drawn to activities, ideas, or goals you once loved but had put aside. Maybe it's a creative hobby, a career path, or even a new cause that grabs your heart. What's important is that this passion feels different, more alive, more urgent. It's a signal from God that He's ready to move you forward, that He's replanting seeds of purpose in your life that will bear fruit. Alongside this passion, a clear sense of purpose begins to emerge. Before, you might have felt lost or unsure about your direction. Now, a vision starts to take shape, one that feels authentic and deeply aligned with who you are meant to be. This isn't about chasing someone else's dreams. It's about God revealing the unique plan He has for you. Purpose gives your passion a target, turning energy into meaningful action. At times, this process might feel overwhelming. Passion and purpose can stir up old fears and doubts, because stepping into your calling often requires change and courage. But here's the thing: God doesn't give you this renewed fire without also giving you the strength to pursue it. The restoration of your years is also the restoration of your confidence. You begin to believe that you can do what you were created to do, no matter what happened before. This new passion and purpose don't just benefit you, they ripple out and impact everyone around you. When you live with intention and excitement, you inspire others to do the same. Your restored years become a testimony, showing that no matter how lost or wasted time may have seemed, God can turn it into a powerful legacy that touches lives beyond your own. Ultimately, this ignition of passion and purpose is a reminder that your life is still being written. The past chapters don't define your entire book. God's restoration is a promise that new, vibrant chapters are ahead, full of meaning, joy, and fulfillment. When you embrace this renewed fire, you step fully into the abundant life that's waiting for you. One of the deepest and most essential parts of God's restoration is healing. Those wasted years often come with wounds, pain from mistakes, regrets, broken relationships, and disappointments. But when God starts to restore what was lost, He brings healing that goes far beyond surface-level fixes. This healing reaches into the very core of your heart, restoring what was shattered and making you whole again. Healing is rarely instant. It can be a gradual process that requires patience and courage. You may have carried burdens for so long that you forgot what freedom feels like. God's restoration invites you to release those burdens, to lay down the heavy weight of guilt and shame. It's in that surrender where true healing begins. As you let go, you open space for God's peace to fill the cracks left by past hurts. Forgiveness is a critical part of this healing journey. Forgiving yourself for the mistakes you made during those wasted years can feel impossible, but it is necessary. God's grace empowers you to see yourself through His eyes, worthy of love, redemption, and a fresh start. This self-forgiveness breaks chains of self-condemnation and opens the door to a new beginning. Equally important is forgiving others who may have caused pain or disappointment. Holding on to bitterness only keeps you trapped in the past, preventing restoration. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the hurt. It means choosing freedom over captivity. When you forgive, you reclaim your peace and take back the power that resentment stole from you. Healing and forgiveness also create space for God to restore your identity. The wounds from wasted years can distort how you see yourself, but God's restoration realigns your heart with truth. You begin to understand that your value is not based on past failures or lost time, but on who God says you are, loved, chosen, and destined for greatness. This process can be messy and emotional. You might revisit old pain and feel vulnerable. That's okay. God doesn't expect perfection, but invites you to be honest and open. Healing often comes through honest conversations, prayer, and sometimes professional help. The key is to keep moving forward, trusting that every step leads you closer to freedom. As healing takes root, you will notice a shift in your spirit. The heavy weight of regret begins to lift, replaced by a lightness and peace you haven't felt in years. This freedom is a sign that restoration is working. It allows you to move forward with hope instead of fear, embracing the new possibilities God is bringing into your life. Ultimately, healing and forgiveness are not just about the past. They are about reclaiming your future. God's restoration breathes life into areas you thought were dead, renewing your strength and purpose. When you experience this freedom, You become a living testament to the power of God's grace, inspiring others that no matter the pain or waste, restoration is always possible. One of the most profound ways God restores your wasted years is by realigning the people and relationships in your life. When your past seasons felt lost or unfruitful, it wasn't just about what you were doing or missing, it was also about who you were surrounded by. Restoration often begins by shifting the landscape of your relationships to bring support, healing, and new purpose. At times, this means some people will quietly drift away. These departures can be painful or confusing, especially when they involve people you once counted on. But God knows who belongs in your life for the next chapter, and sometimes the ones who leave are simply making space for those who will build you up. This pruning process clears out toxic influences, distractions, or relationships that no longer serve your growth. As certain relationships fade, you'll begin to notice new connections forming, often in unexpected ways and places. These new people bring encouragement, wisdom, and opportunities that align with the restoration God is working in you. They might be mentors, friends, or even strangers who come into your life at just the right moment, helping you walk into your next season with confidence. God's restoration in relationships is not just about quantity, but quality. You'll find that the relationships that remain or enter your life carry deeper meaning and purpose. These are people who genuinely care about your growth, who will speak truth with love, and who will stand by you even when things get difficult. They become your support system and your cheerleader. Sometimes, restoration brings reconciliation. Relationships that were once broken or distant might be healed through forgiveness and renewed understanding. These restored relationships remind you that nothing is beyond repair when God is involved. The restoration of connection can bring incredible joy and healing, not just for you, but for those around you as well. You might also discover new opportunities for serving and contributing through your relationships. As God restores your years, He often uses people to open doors for you to impact others. You become part of communities where your gifts and experiences can shine, turning past losses into powerful testimony and influence. During this shift, you'll likely develop a greater sense of discernment about who you allow into your inner circle. Restoration sharpens your awareness of what kinds of relationships nourish your soul and what kinds drain your energy. This discernment is a gift that protects your progress and helps you maintain the momentum God is building. As you embrace these new and renewed relationships, you'll feel a growing sense of belonging and purpose, no longer isolated or stuck in the past. You'll realize you are a part of a bigger story, a community moving forward together. This connection fuels your healing and ignites your motivation to step boldly into the future. It's important to remember that these relationship shifts don't happen overnight. Sometimes God works quietly and patiently behind the scenes, rearranging your circles until the perfect time to reveal the fullness of restoration. Your role is to stay open, be patient, and trust that every change is part of God's loving design. Ultimately, these new and shifting relationships are a clear sign that God is restoring not only your time, but your life. Through them, you experience encouragement, healing, purpose, and joy. They remind you that restoration is not a solitary journey, but one walked in connection with others who reflect God's love and grace in tangible ways. One of the most unmistakable signs that God is restoring your wasted years is a profound shift in your inner world. The heavy burden of anxiety and doubt that once weighed you down begins to lift, making room for an unexpected and deep joy. This joy is not just a fleeting feeling, but a steady presence that anchors you, even when life is uncertain or challenging. For a long time, anxiety may have ruled your thoughts, worrying about what could have been, what should have been, or what might never be. Doubt can gnaw at your confidence, whispering that your chance is gone or that you are not enough. But restoration brings a new narrative. God replaces those anxious thoughts with His promises, planting seeds of hope that begin to flourish. Peace accompanies this joy like a gentle river flowing through your soul. It's a calmness that doesn't depend on your circumstances, but is rooted in the assurance that God is in control. You start to experience a stillness that reassures you even in the midst of uncertainty. This peace guards your heart and mind, keeping anxiety from taking hold again. This transformation often happens gradually. You might not notice it right away, but as you walk in faith and trust God's restoration, the small moments of joy and peace grow stronger. Maybe it's a quiet morning where your heart feels lighter, or a smile that comes easier than before. These little signs are the beginnings of a deeper shift inside you. Joy and peace are powerful indicators that God's restoration is real and working. They remind you that your past does not define your worth or your future. Even if your years felt wasted, God's love is relentless and His ability to redeem is limitless. These emotions are His way of encouraging you to keep moving forward. This new joy is contagious. It spills over into your relationships, your work, and your daily life. When you carry peace inside you, it changes how you respond to challenges. Instead of reacting out of fear, you act from a place of confidence and grace. Your restored years begin to shine through your attitude and interaction. Experiencing joy and peace also fuels your resilience. When tough seasons come, as they inevitably do, you're better equipped to face them without being overwhelmed. Restoration doesn't promise a life free from trouble, but it guarantees a spirit strengthened to overcome. This inner transformation is proof that God is rewriting your story. The peace you receive is not passive, but active. It empowers you to make choices that align with your restored identity and purpose. Anxiety and doubt often paralyze us, but joy and peace inspire action. They push you to step out boldly, knowing God is with you every step of the way. You may find yourself reflecting on how far you've come, from a place of despair to a place of hope and assurance. This contrast highlights the power of God's restoration. It's a testimony that no matter how dark the years may have seemed, God's light can break through and shine brightly in your life. Ultimately, the joy and peace that replace anxiety and doubt are not just feelings. They are signs of a heart and mind renewed by God's grace. They confirm that your wasted years are being restored in ways you never imagined. When you embrace this gift, you step into a future filled with promise, strength, and unshakable hope.